go up here for a minute. So welcome to Yoga Mythconceptions. Bada boom. So, half pigeon. How many times have you been cued? Wait a minute, let's try this. How many times have you been cued to bring your shin parallel to the top of your mat for half pigeon? Don't do that. It's a terrible idea. We need music. How many times have you been told to come into half pigeon with your knee parallel to the front of the mat? It's a bad idea. That is something that is left over from the days of alignment-based yoga. Alignment-based yoga is basically, hey, put your body into this shape, it's so healthy. We now know that that's bullshit. There are a few absolutes in the universe, especially when it comes to our physical space. Okay. Another misconception is that your hips are your emotional junk drawer. It's not exactly how anything works. How's that look? Is that better? None of this is good. I'm having trouble with this framing because I wanted to have my knees visible. It's complicated. Anyway, while we do have, I don't want to get into the nature of the physical body and emotional energy and stress and all that kind of stuff. Suffice it to say, the hips are not the emotional junk drawer. That's often said, I think, because after a long, energetic series of asanas in a studio, you settle down into half pigeon for a long time, comparatively. You know, maybe a full minute in one posture where all you do is sit with you. And this causes, it doesn't cause anything. You can have an emotional reaction in that time. And people will say, oh, you're releasing so much negativity. Not really. You might be having a pleasant emotional reaction. You can cry joyfully, and it doesn't have to do with the hips. You are having a reaction there, but listen, I don't want to get into that whole thing because that could take days. The point is, the hips are not the emotional junk drawer. It's kind of a derogatory statement anyway. Like all of these emotions you're having are somehow junk. Nor should you have your shin parallel to the front of the mat. Let me talk about the hip and the knee for a minute. Now, your hip has got a bunch of tendons and muscle. Even maybe some ligaments, probably not ligaments. I have to look that up. Ligaments are not supposed to stretch. Ligaments have some mobility in them, but they don't move like tendons move. But anyway, that's you have ligaments in your sacral joint and in this hip structure. Over here, you've got muscle and tendons. And this knee joint, any type of side-to-side motion with the knee is just like it happens, like side-to-side happens. It's not really made for that. It's meant for this. That's it. I have a Kermit the Frog moment here. This is the movement of the knee. And it's in direct relation to the top of the thigh, the femur. Wherever the top of the femur is, the knee is going to bend in that plane. Period. That's it. When we tell people to put the shin parallel with the front of the mat and then press the hips down, we're putting an immense amount of side load on the knee. It's not good. Knees aren't meant to do that. It can hurt your knee, and it can even, you don't need to do that. Okay? If your own, come on down here for a minute. Your own body is an excellent metric for how to space your posture. Now let me show you what I mean. If you've got shoulders over wrists, hips under the knees, okay? If we look at where my fingertips are, look where the heel of my palm is. If we move, right, here's where my fingertips are, right? If we move the heel of the palm right to where the fingertips go, right? We bring the left knee up. We step back through the right. Now I know this doesn't feel wonderful and flippy flowy, like woo, 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 but this is a good way to do this, okay? You cross that foot across the center line. That's it. You can even do it this way. That's it. It does not have to go parallel. If you need more depth, reach back through that back leg, slide that way. My shin is not parallel to the front of the mat. I have an excellent half pigeon. There's nothing but joy and happiness on the knee. Okay? By forcing our knee parallel here and having my thigh here, the knee can only move laterally, and it's not supposed to do that. So, maybe consider that next time you're coming into your half pigeon. Don't think of your emotions as going into a junk drawer. I mean, you can if you want, that's fine. But do think about watching out for this knee. You've only got 2. You don't need to say it anymore. Half pigeon, there's your myths. See if I can edit this down to 5 minutes or less. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the mats. Namaste.